Hey folks, welcome back. We are playing as the Chinese in the Contemporary, and it's a bit unusual for me to start an episode in the Contemporary, but our last one just ran a little long. Last time around, we really took the fight to the black player here, who had been the Fame leader for a long time, and we're finally ahead of them. I think technically if they were able to get their stars, they could still beat me, but we've really put a spanner in the works here and are preventing them from really effectively accumulating more fame. As you can see, we're about to finish up Fusion Reactor, and we will get this extra industry on city or outposts. As you can see, my capital here has a ton of industry, and you'll know but by this point if you're watching, right? But I only allowed myself my capital on my home continent and otherwise had to migrate to the New World, which I fully control. So this time around, we're going to be trying to end the game, and I actually think it might be a fun game to experiment a little bit with some of the end game tech. So normally I would just rush down to rocket science and construct all the space stations in order to win the game. This time around, though, I could potentially go for like a conquest or something of that nature. It would have been more fun with like the Americans or something along those lines. We are the Chinese, so we still get the Guardians at computing, which are also pretty good. They're an artillery upgrade. But there's plenty of stuff to experiment with in the contemporary era that you don't normally get to because the game ends so fast. And Black is still not really competitive. I think I've taken out most of their army at this point. But this player here has some decent armies and tech. I mean, they have line infantry and the Rodiscan Regata, so maybe by the time I deal with the black player here, I could have a war here where I get to experiment with things like aircraft carriers and planes and that sort of thing a little bit more. We will see. So first off, they went up as the Singaporeans, which was a super bizarre choice on their part, but obviously we're going to decline that offer that they made for a white piece because we are standing on the doorstep right here of their second to last city. We're actually going to have this guy move up that way, just because I would like to start striking out towards Sapar after we siege, and they'll still be in the reinforcement zone anyway. Actually, after I'll move these guys here as well, just because same thing for them, right? They can position themselves for the next siege. This should be a very easy fight, just in case there are reinforcements that I don't know about. I'm still going to manual battle this. Don't think these draftees really have much of a chance here, especially if I'm getting into the city. Yeah. Okay, that's everything. Great. So we just have one more city to siege there. We also have this diplomat that's kind of roaming around. Okay, I clicked the button already. I had this guy queued up to move. I was looking around at my units at the start of the game, but this guy's been pillaging some of the oil that I stole up here, so obviously want to put a stop to that. I'm not like starved for oil because I managed to steal this spot as well, so it's not that big of a deal. I could actually, might be worth upgrading these units, because if I go to war with this player here, there is a high chance that they'll come after this territory. So having some upgraded units here is probably not a bad idea. And I think I could grab an airport as well. And that'll just let me bring units there very efficiently. I should consider, once I have captured some other cities, getting units in position, or getting some planes and some districts in position to support those planes, so the aerodromes and things. But I need to capture this continent first. Okay, let's see if we can retreat there. Hopefully they won't be able to catch him on the next turn, because I did go through blue territory there. Alright, so other things we want to take a look at. Right. Yeah, don't have a very large construction queue in a couple places. I could start working on a fusion test. I think I had a spot like out here that was working well. Yeah. So I could start working on a fusion test in a couple cities. I do want to make sure that I have secured the actual Fame leadership spots. Theoretically, Black could still catch me in this era if they're efficient. And actually, I remember looking at the start of the game that, yeah, the artist studio plus 22 influence is pretty good for an infrastructure that takes 1 turn, so I'm going to add that in. I'm also going to add the whale fishing, the factory, and the nuclear plants. And Berlin, I think I'm okay for now. Beijing, they're going to need some of this infrastructure, actually. I'm surprised I haven't built that yet. Add that in. The nuclear plant will be good. Let's still do the congresses before, though. And then, yeah, I don't have the tourney fields here. I don't think I need stability stuff, maybe in this city. So only 10 stability, 14 from apothecary is not bad. How am I? I feel like I am losing food on one of these cities, but it seems like I'm okay. Okay. Oh, I have a lot of food on Haojing, actually. All right, let's end the turn, and we'll get rolling. So I got the fusion reactor researched here, so that's some extra fame, as well as plus 50% industry on city and outposts. So I was at like 5k here, and I'm at 7,200 almost. So big increase in my ability to construct buildings. Obviously, I'm not going to be buying out any of these congresses because that would be incredibly expensive, but I should hopefully be able to accumulate enough that I can do that later. So this one's an interesting one. I don't think I need stability, plus 10 influence on Empire, or plus 10% money. I do think the money is probably worth more here. I'm only at the 1 star here, and it is my primary era star, and it lets me buy things. I think I'm doing okay on influence since I picked the Ming in the early modern, which is really supporting my influence output at the moment. So let's say we're going to go to war. So we already have aerial warfare. We'll probably want rifles so we can get some upgrades as well as landing craft. And I think we'll want continuous track as well to get access to the tanks. Though I might prioritize naval air strategy first, actually, so I can get aircraft carriers and upgrade my ships. So let's start pulling all these guys over this way. They're probably going to support attacks against purple here. Let's move these guys out of that DMZ. And these guys are just kind of idling for a little bit. Whoa. Don't like when that happens. What is going on here? Another, what's the word I'm looking for? Another envoy I had, apparently. I think I can just leave those guys there. I wonder if I could survive this. If I, deploy up here. Great. I'll take it. They're attacking with another one. Let's see if we can survive it again. This one seems less likely because I don't have high ground I can just stand on. They're not coming after me, so that's just giving me free war support. Okay, they can idle. These guys are going up to intercept those guys there. Whoops. Let's idle. Let's idle. And actually, quite a few grievances have been generated down there. I wonder if I can get my envoys there to pick that up. Gets a wonder, apparently. Looks like I'm not going to be able to. I suppose someone in one of my other videos commented that I could stand on these and maybe it would stop them from getting it. I'm going to see if that's actually the case. If I can manage to do that or not. Oh, okay. I see. I was worried I couldn't get up here at all and I had made an error in how I was moving my units, but it's just a zone of control from one unit here. I think. Yeah, they're just prowlers. I don't need to worry about how many units I have available to shoot them. And these guys are also going to come over this way. Pretty strong navy. And actually, I should pull them... Well, I don't want to pull them into brown. I guess once that DMZ expires, I can do that. But brown is my vassal, so I should be able to upgrade in their territory. Could also claim another thing here. Maybe Congress? Might as well use the influence on something. Just so I have some more sway in the Congress when things come up. Would be kind of nice. Okay, scientific correspondence with the British. I'm going to refuse that because I'm well ahead of them in tech by now. I'm also going to refuse their crisis proposal and make all those demands on them. The spare Steam Frigate running around. We can have them join up with that fleet there. And up here, we're going to go attack this navy. Or we're going to get ambushed at sea by spy masters. It's just really weird. Okay. Can do the nuclear power plant for a little more production, and then we're in pretty good shape. Just make sure we have all the military infrastructure that we need. Who has the best industry over here? They'll probably be my main. So, yeah, so it looks like Birka and Beijing are my best. So they're going to be my main areas to produce military, I think. So what I'm going to do, actually, let's just buy that. Let's do the airport. Let's do a garrison, so there's a spawn right next to it. And then same thing down here. We're going to put it in an airport. Neither of those locations really matter. We can just finish up that Congress. We can put a garrison right next to it. And then that way we can use both of these cities to produce units and kind of ferry them over to this part of the map where the, what's the word I'm looking for? Where the cities are not going to be quite as well developed and we'll need some support in producing units. Yeah, so it looks like I can plop a military unit on top of those things, and that'll stop the AI. Very annoying that I'm being attacked here by night rebels, which will delay me moving again. Okay. Get them linked up. Up here, let's actually see if we can attack this time. We'll attack here as well. Okay, so we should be able to catch them next turn. I have a lot of movement compared to those units because of my legacy traits. I also have the Lighthouse of Alexandria right now, which gives +1, or sorry, +2 naval movement speed. So these guys are really speedy compared to their unbuffed counterparts. All right, let's do the ICBM test. Don't necessarily intend on using nukes this game. It's probably overkill. But I would prefer to have it done. And it is a source of fame as well. Have there. 3 turns for that is fine while everyone else works on more important things. Alright. I see. I'm getting Zona controlled by the Amba. This is the Ethiopian district. Really strong spot for that, actually. So I guess kudos to the AI for putting it there. Let's get that battle resolved. And Mikane, which we actually control, will be able to rebuild my oil. I'm just going to plop this guy in the front here. Whoops. Come on. Yeah, they really deployed way back here. I'm going to make sure that wherever I deploy, they can actually shoot people. I'm going to go for damage on the Man-O-War, probably. Just because they are harder to kill, and the Ironclad does do a lot of damage, whereas these steam frigates can kind of deal with their own, so to speak. Hoping this will give me the adjacency that I need. Not quite. So suppose there's a chance. Okay, got him. Let's hit the Mana War. Let's hit the Mana War. Hit the Mana War. Then we'll creep a couple more units forward. And maybe we can get the Steam Frigate. There we go. Alright, then the Ironclad. Getting -1 from in algae. It's a very funny combat debuff. Would algae actually affect the operation of a ship? Like, I legitimately have no idea. Maybe, like, old ships? I don't feel like by the time you're at Ironclads, algae would do anything to your combat capabilities. But maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay. Let's see, are these both envoys? Yeah. So I'll send one down here, where I've kind of been camping out so I can get this. Kind of good to know that this works, actually. I had never really thought about doing that before, but it is a nice little optimization for trying to pick up some of the leverage if you have the military units to do it. There we go, 5 leverage. Just put you on auto explore. Okay, they are hanging out. Down here we could also upgrade this line infantry. Let's do all of them. We have naval air strategy coming up. And then maybe we go into computing and get guardians. I think that would be kind of fun. It's been a long time since I've used units from this era, so I'm looking forward to it a little bit, you know? I do find the contemporary just ends too fast. It's kind of one of the end of the game really is one of humankind's largest flaws as a game. At least in my opinion. I think it's a sentiment that's generally shared, though, is that the AI, A, can't really keep up, but B, there's just... It just goes so fast once you're at this point, like your outputs are so outrageously good, you know, that you just blast through the tech tree. You're getting up all the things that you need to end the game, right? So specifically the space station, all that stuff. So you don't really get to enjoy the contemporary era very often. Crisis Diffusal, I'm going to renounce that, or not renounce it, refuse that, and then make that demand. And over here, we could get the Congress. Actually would be helpful in here just for the stability. 26 stability here. Mostly building this for the stability, so I'm fine putting it there. Certain irony to me building this, really, since I've been a bit of a warmonger recently, but it's fine. Okay, Nanjing, you have a couple things. What are these two doing after this? I suppose I could make some more units if I wanted to. I gotta have some artillery ready to upgrade. Something like that. And then up here, we're largely going to continue working on market quarters. All right. Okay, we could end the war, which might be my preference. I don't think I will have enough war score to get all their cities anyway. So the one I definitely want is Gnosis, because this has the several wonders, right? It has Forbidden City, it has Colosseum, Statue of Zeus, and Big Ben, and it's just kind of overall their best city. The rest I don't really care that much about. I suppose Sus here has some good luxuries. I would prefer to get all of them if I can, but I don't think that's likely. Yeah. It's just a little bit too expensive. How much do I care about Sus's luxuries? Not that much. I think I'd rather have the entirety of Gnosis. I'm not going to have the war support for even that, I think. Which one of these matters the least? I guess this territory up here is actually the closest to my army, so that's probably the one that I want to take in the deal, or that I want to leave in the deal, because I should be able to go pillage that. Okay, let's force surrender there. Okay, they're going to immediately attach it. That's fine. It's really not that big of a loss. I'm not too worried about that. All right. So we're finally in a peaceful position. These guys are kind of stuck at the moment. The British are my ally, so I'm like not going to take damage here, but not great. Okay, I am a merchant, so I should be able to trade with them for all this stuff, even though I don't have a trade deal, so we're going to do that. Make sure we just get everything. Okay. So all the stuff, especially the silk and the ebony, can make a big difference. The percentage modifiers are also really good at this point in the game. But I have most of the available percentage modifiers at this point. Ooh, we have the dye manufactory available now. Where else has dye available? Feel like there's something in the New World. I would prefer not to have it in that city over there. Is Haojing? No? Okay, well, we'll just build the dye manufactory here, I suppose. Oop, right there. Just buy that. Another percentage increase to my outputs. Oh man, this city is interesting. How do you not have some of this like super basic stuff? $177 industry there is pretty good. Then 122 on the sawmill. Let's do that. Let's get our uranium, and then we can let that queue play out. Okay. So next on the hit list is purple. I suppose in Haojing, actually, yeah, we're going to want an aircraft carrier. We're also going to need an aerodrome, which is going to be what lets us spawn airplanes. So let's get those going. Can also upgrade our siege artillery into the Guardians now, which are very effective units. Okay, and I could get a civic. Okay, I'm all good on civics. Okay, next tech. Maybe space orbital for the money. Fighter jets, also good. Yeah, I think maybe we go for space orbital, because it's going to be pretty expensive to maintain such a large military. Like 22k to upgrade that is well outside the realm of possibility for me at the moment. All right. See if we can grab that there. They can all idle for a bit. I'll actually get a couple more rifles in there just to fill that out. Do I really need more industry? I mean, I am going to be producing military here, so it doesn't hurt. So we'll get a few more of those. And then up here, supercomputer lab is good. And just more research quarters. I'm like going at a pretty good pace on tech at this point, so I'm not like in dire need of research quarters. But if I can get through the tech tree pretty fast, then that'll also trigger the end of the game. All right, Get a new wonder if we want. Empire State Building? Sure, why not? Let's just do it. We have the influence for it. And Nanjing doesn't have anything to build now. I find this becomes a problem late game, especially once you get the nuclear reactor or whatever it's called, nuclear fusion, that you keep this unit, these units kind of here, just in case these guys get up to any funny business. But once you get to fusion reactor in particular, the plus 50% industry on city really like snowballs your game to the point where it's like you're just clicking, yep, just build whatever. I do wish the contemporary experience in Humankind were a little bit better. I'm hoping that Civ 7 manages to solve the issue to some capacity. I am getting distracted by my thoughts here. Going to refuse that, demand that, but I do hope that Civ 7 manages to at least partly resolve the issue of like late game dragging. They kind of have, I guess you could call them soft resets in the game, where after each of the ages, I want to say you lose stuff, but it reverts back to a state that is a slightly more even playing field. And I'm curious to see how that's actually going to work in practice. Okay. I'm just going to get fighters because they'll upgrade to the multi-role, which will be quite expensive. So I can do that in one turn. I don't know how many the carrier can even hold, to be completely honest with you. I might need another carrier as well. All right. Is there anything that I want, like a free civic change? Feel like I don't feel like any of these really matter. Just do this one, I guess. Oh. Yeah. Okay, auto export's fine. They can idle. I'm going to bring these guys around. We'll use them to support going after the purple player. Kind of done with black at this point, I think. I don't think they really have any ability to make a comeback from losing these cities that I took from them. Okay, I really wish that battles like this wouldn't disable my cities. That just feels a little silly. Okay, let's see how many this carrier can support. I guess all of them. Oh, it can support 8. Okay, so I don't actually need that extra carrier there. I can get another monoplane in the queue here. They're idle for now. They're idle. These guys are moving. And Beijing. Sure, Beijing is the new New York, I guess. So we're going to slap it in here. I think I have... Oh no, I built Statue of Liberty up in that city there. I was going to say, Beijing is like the new New York, in a way. If anyone's listening, I'm not talking about in real life, just this game. I thought I had the statue in here. I actually have Sydney Opera House and Empire. But, okay. Enough of that. I'm trying to make something happen here that's just not happening for me. So let's get Empire State Building built. And put that in queue here. Nuclear plants. Might as well just get all this stuff, really. Why not? Sacrificing, celebrating. More assault. Go for delegate, I guess. I don't really mind losing that amount of food at this point in the game. Basically no consequence. Okay. Weird that they're attacking me. I think I should be able to handle this, though. Actually not going to deploy down by my flag at all. I'm going to take advantage of the terrain kind of on this side of the map. Oh, they have a unit. How did they get a unit here? Reinforcement? Oh, all these guys are invisible. Okay, this is actually going to be a tough spot for me here. Because they can... Because of where I am on the river, it's going to be hard to get units over to adjacent locations where these units are going to be visible to me. Okay. Thankfully, these units do not have dug in. Only these line infantry do. Or maybe they've just been moving. Yeah, I saw dug in right here, actually. I'd like them to be off a river, but I need to stay adjacent, and they'll get dug in next turn. Wonder, okay. Yeah, I can't get anyone there. Wonder if I, like, can get these guys in range. In case this goes for another round. I don't think they're going to have the range to reach the battlefield here, but we'll find out. Oh, weird. Don't know where those Rhodiskin and Regatta went. Focus these ones, I suppose. Oh, they went down to the flag. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately I'm going to lose this one. So I guess what these guys are going to do is actually just stay put up here. My unit should retreat after the battle, because I am not already retreating. So they should be okay, at least these last two that remain. Yep, there they are. And then if they get into it again, I should have the Guardians available to actually help them out there. Non-aggression pact. Actually, I'm fine with that. I don't want them jerking me around if I end up at war with the purple player here. Ooh, I don't have enough of that. Can I... Yeah, I was pretty sure they had some aluminum. Need 14. I have 12. Does anyone else have anything? Actually, I should... You know what I can do is... Where's the trade menu? If I go... I'm just going to buy all from everyone, I think. Okay. Alright, we have our carrier position. Move everyone here. Need a little bit more gold to upgrade stuff. By a little bit, I mean like way more gold than I currently have. Cheerleading, we're going to go for the prosperous. The extra 10% money is quite obviously what I'm interested in. And then once you get space orbital, that plus 50% money on all cities will really help us do stuff. That's not a declaration of war. They're my vassal. Guess they're like, maybe they used the Diplo action to kick me out? I'm not sure. This territory was actually stolen from me, from my own vassal. It was a little bit annoying. I think that was last episode, right? This wouldn't be an issue right now if that had not happened. Actually, those guys are not fully upgraded. I guess I need to bring these guys back in order to upgrade them now. It's fine. I'm waiting on money to do it anyway. Okay. So you get a nuclear reactor and then just start going for market quarters. I feel good about the amounts of research quarters that I have at this point. I'm not like plowing through the endgame tech, but I'm definitely doing it faster than other players in the game. Okay, and down here, we'll do the same thing, more market quarters. You just need money at this point in order to fulfill my dreams of world domination. Okay. Yeah, see, they're fine again now. They must have used the diplomatic action that kicked units out. And 15.9k to upgrade to the multi-roll. But let's start doing them one by one. We'll have landing craft, we'll have air support, we'll have navy. Should be able to drag this player into it as well. I'm surprised at how much tech they have, actually, because this player is... they only have these 3 cities. I know they're my vassal, but this is a pretty impressive military for someone in the game that has basically been vassalized the entire game. There's no way for them to win at this point, but they could definitely throw a wrench in things if they wanted to. Okay. Keep them moving here. Refuse, demands, and Berlin. I think it's mostly science here. We'll get a couple more science quarters. I would like to be able to, like, 2-turn techs. Okay, we're no longer trespassing. How much does it upgrade these? 22.2k. They were trespassing in. It's fine. We'll just keep idling. They'll eventually run out of the diplomatic influence to keep doing that. They can idle. Okay. I'm hoping that wherever I land, which is probably going to be Corral, they will actually have a decent number of units defending. Might as well claim this last wonder here. There's really nothing else to do with my fame at this point. And could go for exosuit if I really wanted. Could be quite handy. Rocket science would let me just end the game if I feel like it. If they aren't really competitive, could be an option. Don't have tanks, but I think that's okay. Actually, let's grab power lines for the hydroelectric dam, and then rocket science so we can get close to ending the game, just in case we want to do that soon. I can actually just permanently idle a lot of these. Can they... they're anti-aircraft. Interesting. You can tell I don't get to play with the units of this era a lot, because I don't really know what they all do. I also could have maybe just built multi-rolls. Might be better than waiting to upgrade them. Okay, they will continue to make their way that way. And they're all just going to idle while we accumulate some money. Could also build the observatory. Don't even know what this one does, really. Number of trade routes. Would be most beneficial down here, probably. Though I have nowhere to build it. Let's place on a mountain. Yeah. Have to attach here, I think. Okay, we'll just not build it for now. It's really not that big of a deal. So let's get some of the infrastructure in here. Just do all this stuff for now. Not really in need of units for the time being. So just by adding a bunch of stuff to the production queue here, I'm just buying myself some turns where I don't need to worry about micromanaging my cities. And I can focus on other things instead. Okay. And Jing. I think here we'll actually build some market quarters that are all 0 turns, apparently, which can't be right, but is what it is. Okay. Plenty of market quarters queued up there. Okay, end the turn. Okay, I'm generating Diplo favor for someone at the moment, but I don't think I really care that much. Let's get a couple of these upgraded. Let's upgrade a couple steam frigates. At least one, I guess. Just curious to see how they will perform. I'm going to move 3 of these here. I'm going to move this one here. And Haojing will produce the other multi-rolls here. Probably not going to have a fully upgraded military by the time I go over here. I think it's just going to be too expensive. This is part of the problem with gold in the end game, if you haven't like hyper-focused it, is upgrading things through gold does get extremely spendy. So you're pretty limited. Especially if you don't have Taj Mahal or Great Zimbabwe, which I didn't get either of this game. Those are kind of 2 key ones for gold efficiency later in the game. So I think these planes are going to be the most effective thing to upgrade because they will have greater, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of battlefield impact because of their ability to strike inland, so that I'm going to prioritize upgrading them. I also feel like I don't really have enough military units here. Maybe I can bring out one of these armies. Actually, this knight would upgrade into a tank, I believe, if I wanted to do that. Let's maybe send the knight, send this guy. And this can be an additional land army that I can use. They don't have any indirect fire, but I don't think that will be an issue because I should have sufficient supporting units there. Refuse your crisis proposal. Okay, Berlin. A lot of this stuff doesn't really matter. Let's get a few basic ones. And then let's get some more money. So kind of re-specializing my cities here. I feel pretty confident with the amount of science that I have already, so. Great. Okay, there's a tech. There's rocket science. So let's grab continuous track for medium tank. And then maybe just go into exosuits, the extra combat strength. Let's upgrade a multi-roll there. Another one that's been produced. Move them over. So that's a pretty good amount of multi-rolls, I would say. So I'm feeling alright about this at this point. So let's actually get these units positioned. I think I want to attack Rawl first. Wish I had more upgrades, really. But I feel good about where I'm at. They do have siege artillery, actually. So hopefully this could be a somewhat decent fight. So something else I should do is I need to keep some units with the carrier, because the carrier is very vulnerable if it gets attacked at sea, especially if there's like submarines or something. So I'm actually going to keep this kind of lower tech navy in reserve. Also going to make sure these units are upgraded before I send them in, just like that. And I don't have enough to upgrade the fighters, but that's okay. Alright. So, I think we're in a position where I'm good to go. I wonder if I can... Not quite. I wonder if I could get a treaty here. No. Okay. Prosperous, science investing. Like, none of this really matters. Those numbers are very low. Idle. Let's make sure we have stuff queued up. Might as well do the Mars mission. Or not the Mars mission, the space station. Okay. They're good, idle. Okay. So now we will declare a war on the Siamese. And since I have landing craft, and just get straight up on here. And I'm thinking, yeah, that looks like lots of reinforcements. I'm going to be curious to see how some of these units actually end up performing here. I'm sure these Guardians are kind of in the back. All right, enter deployments. We have support here, but it doesn't look like they can actually bomb anything. Oh, I have them patrolling. Should have taken them off patrol previously. So I'm going to take... Actually, I doubt they have any air units, so I'm going to take all of them off patrol. So I don't think they'll be able to do anything until next turn, though. Oh. Okay, that's more units down there than I expected. Oh, do they have Colossus? Oh, and I can't even get up here. So what I'm going to need to do is focus fire a little bit. I need to pull these guys back. I'm worried about these guys getting destroyed up here since I only have one melee unit that can actually hit them. I don't need to worry too much about an opening salvo here. I'm not particularly vulnerable to indirect fire this combat. Maybe the tank will have enough movement to... I'm going to send the tank up this way. And let's start pulling in the Navy. There's a siege artillery back here, which I think we can deal with pretty handily. We also have a couple battleships. Let's make sure we're using those appropriately. They do have indirect fire, so just get them set up. Whereas the Ironclad has indirect fire as well, so it doesn't need to be a front line. Whereas all the steam frigates are direct fire only, so I need to make sure I'm putting them in a position where they can reasonably hit something. Okay. Okay. Right, something like that. So I could try to take out a lot of the dug-in status. Wow, look at that. Let's blast those conscripts. Yeah, that's actually going to be really good for me if I can secure this. Ooh, okay. That has revealed a lot. I actually wish I had remembered to take units off of... what's the word I'm looking for? Off the patrol now, the multi-role fighters. It would be really useful to be able to do some airstrikes at the moment. I'm going to focus down the siege artillery. I actually half expect to lose some units here, which feels weird. Let's hit that siege artillery as well. Let's pull in this last round of steam frigates. Okay, this guy can hit the Gatling elephant, so might as well. Anywhere else? Don't want to go in there. It just feels too risky to me. Suppose I'll take a shot at the Gatling elephant there. I was not expecting them to have so many units up there, actually. I guess maybe because they're on open ocean, they can't get up there. Hopefully they don't bonk those guys with siege artillery. I don't need 2 gladiators. We'll get the plus 10 more support. Guess I'll hit those ones since they're already damaged. Yeah, real bummer that I don't get to use that air support this round. Totally forgot about that, right? I think it reveals a lot about how often I actually play with units in this era. Like, if this were a close battle, that would make a huge difference, you know? Alright. Let's take care of these guys. I think they had this tank here. Ooh, a torpedo boat. Did they attack? They didn't sink anything. That's what these steam frigates are for. They're good against the torpedoes. Actually, just insta-kill that line infantry there. Ooh, I wouldn't mind killing those Gatling elephants. Let's do that. Also wouldn't mind hitting that siege artillery up at the very top. Wish I had like a couple more capital ships. But they are so expensive. Okay, I'm gonna just destroy that line infantry there. Use the capital ship, the ironclad specifically here, to hit that siege artillery. It looks like I think these steam frigates really have line of sight up there, so I'm going to use them to hit the conscripts here. Same thing up here. Again there, okay. Really like to be able to retreat these guys. It's not really feasible at the moment. I think there's a question of whether I want to destroy that siege artillery or if it's more important for me to link up my units here, and I think I need to link up my units. So I'm going to hit that location. That way I can start moving into the city with rifles here and start getting myself a more advantageous position. Suppose I maybe could have done that with the artillery that I forgot I have here. Let's remove that dug in. I guess we'll take a shot from here, but that guy is definitely going to die next turn. Oh, I might be able to shoot this artillery to death. If I can get one more unit that has line of sight somewhere. Doesn't seem like I can. Okay, we'll go for the lower combat strength unit right there, the line infantry. And let's send another couple units up this way. I still have this guy, actually. Okay, nice. I can get that siege artillery this turn. Very easy to lose track of your units in a combat like this. Kind of hoping that they have more military that I'll actually be able to fight. At the current rate, I think I might be able to end the combat this turn, or this round. I'm going to use the steam frigates to actually hit things that are coastal. I can one-shot those conscripts there, because they can't really provide fire support if they don't have direct line of sights. Alright, and then we can use these guys here to do the bulk of the damage on the interior. Let's get these guys up here. Wow, a medium tank that cannot one-shot knights. I guess they have... Oh, do they have... No. I guess they just have some like special districts here. The stronghold, I guess, provides quite a bit of defense. It counts as a garrison. There are some upgrades that provide some extra defense from that kind of stuff. Alright, let's hit that siege artillery and remove its dug-in status. Let's get up there. And get more units into the city here. Sure, we're providing some combat adjacency. You definitely want to kill that siege artillery. And I can just one-shot those conscripts. Well, what's the difference in strength here? I guess turbulent waters makes a difference, but so that seems like a big combat difference. All right, let's move them in. I didn't notice that before. I wasn't sure. Not sure if I was getting that penalty before. I'm sure I was, because I don't think I moved them at all. Would have been nice to have noticed before. Okay, can they all hit that siege artillery? Can't get particularly far with these rifles. I guess they'll send them back that way. Yeah, can't quite kill the siege artillery either. Guess maybe I have enough shots left here. I'm sure there were a couple inefficiencies here. There definitely were. I could have done slightly more, been slightly more effective than I was. I think I could have cleaned up the combat this turn. Oh, I guess they have a couple Radiscan Regatta that I forgot about that are hiding out somewhere. Oh, but I had the flag anyway. Didn't even realize. I was so focused on killing units. Funnily enough, I actually feel like my vassal would be the most dangerous to fight. Yeah, they even have planes. Alright, so you have this city occupied, so the question here then is what's next? Actually, I can... How many of these will it take? They'll still be alive. Fun little animation, though. I was surprised, actually, that they're still alive if I strike with that many multi-rolls. Suppose I could bombard from here as well. Could upgrade to missile cruisers. I still have ironclads. Let's... Oh, the price has increased as well. I'm going to upgrade that. Oh, I guess because they're upgrading to a missile cruiser. If I do with the missile cruiser, no, I would need at least 2 of these. Just don't want to engage them in combat. Yeah, the bombard ability can get quite strong. Oh, they are attacking me. pay to heal this guy. Pull these guys over. So I already bombed with my multi-rolls this turn, so I won't be able to use it in combat here. I think that's fine. I should be alright. Manual battle. This envoy is going to go back here. I'm going to put the medium tank kind of as a breakthrough unit. Keep the artillery in the background. Into position, rifles kind of up on the high ground. Something like that. See, this guy can come back here even. It seems like, yeah, I still have a couple units here that can bombard as well. See if they actually bring some of these reinforcements in. Okay, they're really committed to this one. Let's see. Just gonna renounce that. Really don't care if they're at war with my enemy or not. Okay, we have an event here. Learning or prosperous. We'll grab prosperous. Let's get the lunar lander as well. In case we, again, we feel like we want to end soon. That's a lot of industry from the hydroelectric dam there. It's pretty good. I don't know about you all, but coffee gives me life. It's what I'm drinking at the moment. I got a special one recently that I don't normally order. A little bit on the expensive side, but totally worth it. I'm not like a total coffee snob, but just like a little bit of coffee snob, you know? Okay. Alright, so they've done quite a bit of damage to this guy. Okay, so we'll need to deal with these torpedo boats. I have one artillery back there. Alright, let's start bringing these units in. We're gonna basically, right, use these for the intended purpose, which is screening. Actually, I'm not sure why this guy can't shoot. So he can shoot these ones. So there's, I believe the escort ship, or the screening ship. Yeah, enemy torpedo vessels cannot attack when they are adjacent to this unit. Also, apparently my Amazon Echo Dot decided it was going to talk to me. What is it doing? Alexa, off! It just started playing music. Bezos is everywhere. Okay, so let's bring the rest of these in. And as you can see, right, although it's pretty high combat strength, right, they get the +10 torpedo attack against capital ships. So they're very effective capital ship killers. But obviously when you have a huge line of screens like this, it's not really possible for them to take advantage of that. Alright. So these guys will need to pull back. We have some new rifles we can bring in. So let's... I guess I can't actually see these units, and it's just like a bug display or something. I don't know. That feels like it should be in range of my units there. But the fact that this couldn't hit these guys is making me feel like there's something off with the way some information is being presented to me. I'm just going to hit each of them once, I think. I guess they don't even, none of them have dug in even. I'd like to be able to move the tank this turn. Move them there. Take those guys out. Okay. I'm going to bring a couple of these guys. Well, I guess I bring all of them in just in case I need to reinforce. But I don't see any strong reason to like step into the boundaries here. I guess I can airstrike and blow up all their stuff in the process. Okay, how many do I actually need to kill that siege artillery? Just one. Oh, no, that wasn't right. Yes? Oh yeah, okay. Here we go. Oh man, hilarious. Get that one. And get that one. I could damage my own medium tank to kill that guy, which I think is worth it. No, maybe not. Actually, there's okay, they're out of range. Oh, they have something over here. Oh, that's a different player. Okay. Suppose I could try to go for the steam frigate, or the torpedo boat, rather. Yeah, I think that's worth it. These guys aren't under a lot of threat, so just taking that guy out, even though I'm damaging my own unit. Actually, can I... Yeah, I suppose I can target, like, an area behind them, can't I, to kill them. I wish I knew where the rest of their units are, because then I could just target them with area of effect, but I have no idea, so I'm just going to end the round. Unfortunately, I can't see where their effects are coming from. So they have units there. These Rodiscan Brigade are pretty annoying, can't lie. They have enough to... right, I thought... I was thinking this might show me, or reveal units for me, but it's just for the agents, so not quite what I was hoping. So we can find some more units. We're going to have to get a little bit more adventurous with some of these rifles. Okay. Blast them, blast them. Oh, surprised they're still alive, actually. And I can't get down off this cliff onto the city here. Oh, nice. There we go. Finally starting to find some. So I think what we can do is use the last one here to hit, like, right there. I suspect they have quite a few in this kind of surrounding area. Maybe not, though. Okay, one guy is up there. Okay, I think I have a pretty good idea about where the rest of these units are. Okay, they're out of range, which is too bad. Okay, let's go like right here. All right. I guess, oh, I can target the bastion. That's funny. So I don't know the units there, but because I can target bastions with siege units, I can actually still hit that tile. Unfortunately, there's no one really else that can do that in this combat. Yeah, so that last unit's just going to have to wait until next turn. Alright, long turn there. Now end the war if I wanted. Alright, there's our victory. Sit. So what I really wanted to get from this player is Taj Mahal. It really doesn't matter at this point, right? I've taken the fame lead. I've gotten most of my stars here. I think it's probably just time to finish off with Mars Colony, since we're going pretty far into the episode and we were just really experimenting with some late game warfare here. So let's just go ahead and put this in the queue. Maybe we'll bomb some more stuff. It is obvious how, say, the Americans could be good in the contemporary if the era actually lasted longer, right? That's really the main complaints that I have about it. I mean, once you unlock, what is it? Rocket science here with the space station and etc. There's really not much reason to keep playing unless you are not in the fame lead. Let's idle them. Can I hit anyone? No, let's put them in a position where they could hit someone, though. Actually, same with these guys, I suppose. Because I do really like the sort of larger battles at the end of the game, right? Like, for almost all of the game, your units, like every single individual unit is hyper valuable, and you need to do your best to conserve them. And it eventually gets to the point later in the game where like units are actually very vulnerable because of the progression of technology. And it really changes the nature of the game or of warfare to being more about logistics, really, rather than about your ability to kind of dupe the AI through battlefield tactics. And, winning war is always about logistics, but it's a lot more obvious in the end game, I would say. And actually, we finished the Mars colony pretty fast there. Well, maybe get like a missile silo. And I just want to do another bombing run just because I can. Where are they? I'm also going to upgrade that guy. So they got a biplane there. That shouldn't really do much as far as... I don't want to attack my ally. Actually, can you destroy cities and stuff with bombing? I feel like you can. Not enough here to destroy it, but theoretically you could. Yeah. I just wish I had the opportunity to use more of these. Actually, let's talk a little bit about that in a second, because we're going to end the game here. So right there. And I don't know, just build whatever. A couple events, doesn't matter. Industrial production, doesn't matter, really. Okay. Research exosuit, end of the journey, etc. Any tech we want to research. I mean, look at how much tech is unresearched, and I've already triggered the end of the game. I feel like Amplitude maybe underestimated the position that you'll actually be in by this point in the game. Yeah, there's more stuff to unlock here still. There's so much of the game that I haven't actually experienced. And this was me deliberately dragging it out, right? So here we go, finally the end. Best era was the classical for them. I'm really curious about the black player, actually. Because they honestly did quite well, and if I had not intervened, there's a pretty good chance that they would have been able to win the game, if I hadn't been at least a halfway decent player. Yeah, I had a terrible classical era. Look at that. That might have been one of the worst classical eras I've ever played. Not that, I could really do that much about it, given the constraints that I placed upon myself for this game. So, it is what it is. That was kind of the fun of it, right? This coming back. So, while this goes through, I'm going to talk a little bit about Civilization 7, because I do plan to cover Civ 7 in quite a bit of detail. I haven't, been super up to date on literally everything that's been happening with it, like I was with Humankind. Because like before Humankind released, I'd played hundreds of hours in the beta, like the open betas and all that kind of stuff that they did pre-release. So I was quite experienced with it. And you all didn't see like the learning curve that I went through with Humankind. And it took a couple hundred hours before I got good at Humankind difficulty with like really heavy focus. Look at that era. They didn't have any militarist stars there as the Mycenaeans, which is a little weird. But yeah, like it's unusual to see the AI getting all these stars. Like that was a really good era for AI. This one is pretty good too. Like tons of 3 stars. The polls is when I finally attacked them, so still not quite so good, especially not getting any expansionist stars, but it's still like really outstanding work here. I kind of wish the AI would do this more frequently. It's hard to understand like what really triggers the AI to do well in any particular game. And the thing is, if you put like a bunch of strong AI in a game, they're actually weaker than if you just have like a couple strong AI and other weak AI, because the strong ones will gobble up the weaker ones. So there needs to be a bit of a balance there in terms of your game setup if you want a competitive end game. You can see the fame chart here and just how long it took to catch up. But kind of going back to my point, and I'm just going to go through the charts while I talk about this. I'm going to be covering Civ 7. I am very excited about it. I'm hoping that it has a better late game, like I kind of mentioned as I was going through my play here. And it took a long time to learn Humankind, and I think it's going to take a long time to learn Civ 7 as well. But you all are going to get to see a little bit more of that learning curve and experience that with me. I'm not, some big YouTuber or anything. I just do this for the fun. It doesn't support me for a living or anything. I have a full-time job and all that, and would never be able to devote the time that's needed to be big. So I don't have early access to Civ 7 or anything like that. So I'll be playing for the first time when it is released. I do have a release stream scheduled, and I bought one of the editions that grants you the early access to it. So it is like February 6th, I believe, that you'll get access if you bought one of the more expensive versions of things. So I do plan to do a live stream on that day and kind of go through it for the first time with you all at a lower difficulty, and we'll see about scaling it up over time. And I do intend to make Civ 7 a mainstay of the channel. I'm not thinking about removing Humankind content at this point. I think it depends on kind of continued interest in Humankind after Civ 7 is released. I'm also recording this on the day of Amplifiers, where Amplitude is going to announce a Humankind update of some kind, as well as announce their next game, so that could affect plans in the future as well. So that all being said, really appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you'll join me when Civ 7 is released as well, and hope you're just as excited for it as I am. And, if not, there'll be some other Humankind content on the channel in the not so distant future. So cheers, appreciate you tuning in, and I'll see you soon.